you have feelings for guys, I guess, but you're still with your wife from what I understand, and you
Kind
seem
of.
happy. She seems accepted with it, and you have
Yeah.
kids, but your kids still call you dad apparently. So how can you
Yeah.
explain
Yeah.
that?
Sure. So we're separated. We're still technically married on paper. And it's more about just trying to every time we try to finalize the divorce decree, that's when we kind of butt heads because there's a lot of there's 26 years of finances tied up and stuff. And so we just kind of said, look, it doesn't really matter right now. Like we're separated, we love each other, we're still best friends. And every time we talk about like the decree, we just kind of start fighting. So we're like, it doesn't matter. So we live separately. We have one daughter. Her name's Mia. She's 12, and yeah, she still calls me dad. But she asked when I was just starting my transition. She's like, "What do I call you? Like, what do you want to call me?" She goes, "Can I call you dad?" I'm like, "Yeah, no problem. It's fine." I'd rather her have some stability in her life. This transition is pretty damn unstable for a family, and so if it gives her a little bit of stability, I'm totally fine with that.
But I understand, and this might be funny to some people, like she'll call you dad in public. People are
Oh yeah,
like, "What?"
yeah. Like we'll be in the grocery store from like 2 aisles down. She's like, "Dad, hey, can I get this?" And people are looking around like, "What's going on?" And like, "Oh, I get it. Okay, that's the tip I needed." I'm like, "Yeah, it's exactly what you think it is."
So with your partner, your ex-wife, I guess originally she was doing interviews and stuff. So I guess something changed along the way. When did you start to explain this to her? Because I'm sure that must have been something difficult to tell her.
Yeah, it was interesting because it was summer of 2020. It was like amidst the pandemic. It was just I was getting dressed up in female clothes, and she was very, accepting of it and encouraging. She's like, "Hey, do you want me to do your makeup?" I'm like, "I guess let's try it." She showed me how to do makeup and helped me with hair and all this stuff. Um, and I think she knew. I don't think I know she knew before I did the direction it was actually heading. Because about a year after I started my transition, she told me a story. She said, "Yeah, I called my mom that summer." And I said, "Hey, mom, you and the family may want to take a trip out because I don't think Gabe is going to be here much longer," referring to me transitioning to female. So I think the writing was pretty much on the wall, and she saw it coming. So she's been very accepting the whole time. And yeah, she's doing interviews in the beginning, but as we separated and as we started going through our divorce process, she just needed some time to breathe. And I can't be mad at her for that. It's like her husband pretty much died and she lost the love of her life, so to speak. And so we had to go through this big like rebirth. And this I had to figure out who I was. She had to figure out who she was on her own for the first time. We had been together since she was 16 years old. So I was the guy that took care of her whole life.